Om Namah Paramarishibhyo Namah Paramarishibhyah Harihi Om Antarayati Mirupashante Shantapavanamachintya Vaibhavam Tannaram Vapushi Kunjaram Mukhe Manmahe Kimapitundilam Maha Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Yasyantanadi Madhyam Nahi Karacharanam Namagotram Nasutram No Jatin Naiva Varnana Bhavati Purusho Nanapumsam Najastri Nakaram no Vikaram Nahi Janimaranam Nasti Punyam na Papam Tattvam no Tattvamekam Sahaja Samarasam Sadgurum Tam Namami Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Mauna Vyakhya Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam Yuvanam Varshishthante Vasadrishiganairavritam Brahmanishtaihi Acharyendram Karakalita Chinmudram Anandarupam Swatma Ramam Uditavadanam Dakshinamurtimide Vedantartha Vibhasakayetaye Shantaya Sannyasine Nanavadinagendra Sangapavaye Yogindra Vandhyaya Mohadvanta Divakaraya Bhagavatpadabhidam Bibhratim Tasmai Bhashyakrite Namostu Satatam Purnaya Bhuthatmane Apara Satchit Sukhavari Rashe Yasyor Mimatram Bhuvanam Samastam Guhahitam Tam Ramanam Gabhiram Chinta Vihinam Hriti Chintayami Deham Rinmaya Vajjadatmakam Aham Buddhirnatasyastyatum Naham Tattadabhava Sukti Samaye Siddhatma Sadbhavataham Koham Bhavayutah Kuto Varadhiya Drishtvatmanishtatmanam Soham Spurtitaya Arunachala Shiva Purno Vibhati Swayam. So for the last almost 10 days, including today, it is the 11th day. 2 days we had the satsangam in Tamil. Then it naturally became English. So today we will stop in the 3rd verse or 4th verse. Next time when we find time, just informally we will start. Yesterday we spoke about something very, very significant in spiritual life. I have taken only one word or 2 words from Ulladu Narpadu every day. And what we spoke yesterday is the most important thing that can revolutionize a person's life. People mostly they complain, nothing is happening, nothing is happening. We are doing everything that we could, but something is missing. The problem is this doing. trying to become. The only thing that has to be done is to not to do. You need not ask what I should do. The only thing which has to be asked is what I should give up. Yesterday I quoted a verse from the Upanishad which said, renunciation is the highest form of austerity. Bhagavad Gita, when it finds its fulfillment, its completion, you do action without desiring for result. You meditate. You go to a teacher and know the jnanam. And where does it culminate? And Krishna says, Naishkarmya siddhim paramam sanyasena adhigacchati. It is Naishkarmya siddhi. Naishkarmya means no action. Freedom from all karma, which Bhagavan also said, Shombiyai Shumma Sukhamundu Urangidil. Solveran Gati Arunachala. One more verse came just now in the Parayanam. Ovudal Yavumena Or. Giving up completely, totally. When you have given up everything, you give up yourself also. Paul Brenton asked Bhagavan, Bhagavan, should I give up, renounce everything? Bhagavan said, renounce the renouncer also, renouncer too. Give up the renouncer too. Because you should not even have the sense of renunciation. That kind of renunciation can happen only by the grace of Bhagavan, that Jnanopadesha. There is a very beautiful anecdote. One of the greatest saints in Tamil Nadu is Pattanattar. He is known as Pattanath Swamigal. Pattanam is the place. Kaveri Pumpattanam. There he was a very, very wealthy merchant. And in those days, they used to travel, this Chettiar community, this business community used to travel to other countries also in ship. And they used to do the business of pearl. So he was a pearl merchant, very wealthy. He had no child. So he was constantly praying to Shiva that bestow a son to me. And one day he had a dream. In that dream, Shiva came and said, in the nearby village there is a Brahmana, a Brahmin. He has a son. And that son is not his son. He has got that son from somewhere. And he is very poor. You go and ask for that child. And give for this, in return of the child, equal weight of gold. And receive that child. His name was Tiruvannamalai. So he went there to that Brahmin's house. And naturally it is Lord who has instructed. Lord has given instruction to him also. So he went there. And with humility and reverence he asked and told his dream. And that Brahmin said, Ishvara has given me also that instruction. So it will be done. So he gave equal weight of gold and received that child. And that child was very wise, extraordinarily brilliant. He was named Marudavanan. was very brilliant. And he grew up by the age of 15 or 16. He took over father's business. And he said, I will travel. Instead of you, I will travel with other business people in the ship. So he was so attached to his son. It's a deep, very passionate attachment. Because after so much austerity, he has got that boy. He was deeply attached. And that boy was also somehow pulled his heart. So he could not think about the separation of his son. But still, business is very important. So he sent his son with other business people. After some days, he will be getting news about their business group. Some people said they had good business, and other people said nothing. Mind will be going up, down, up, down. And one day some person came and said, your son, I don't know, is strangely, you do not deserve such a son, because he is not business minded. The money that he made, one person came and said he has made so much money. So he was so happy. My son, he has made so much money. Next week, another person came and said he distributed all the money to poor people there for the protection of cows and many things. Then he came down. So all my money gone. Then someone else came that will be praising. Just like that, the mind will go up and down. And one day he heard that on the way their ship was attacked by pirates. So there also he was affected. Another person said, your son is safe. Then he became happy. This is life. And another, but what to say? Just before his son arrived, one businessman came and said, your son, I don't know, he is mentally not all right. He has sold all the pearls, made money and distributed it, and a full sack full of cow dung he has collected. Nothing else, only cow dung. Rati. So he has brought lot of many gunny bags full of cow dung. So he was wondering what happened to him. Then the son came, Marudavanan came, he hugged him, and tears came. And he felt his whole body in a thrill. And then the boy, he asked, what have you brought? All the sacks were brought, their gunny bags were brought. They were opened, all cow dung cakes. Fuel. And what is this, he asked. This is what we need. Okay, for cremating the body, this is what we need. He became very angry. See, so much of love, so much of emotion. Next moment, he outburst of anger. And this boy just laughed and went to his mother. And she was also a very wise lady. He went to his mother. After some time, he opened all the gunny bags, took those cow dung, and he was searching whether some money is there inside. Nothing was found. He threw the cow dung fuel there. It all broke, and there were gems inside. Maragatathu enna solluva? Emerald inside. And he was so delighted, so happy. He has brought so much money, so much wealth. He became so happy and went in search of his son to his inside the house. And when he went near his inner apartment there, his wife said, I don't know where Marudavanan went. He asked me to give you this box. So he opened the box. He had an intimation that something has happened. So he opened his box. Before opening the box, he searched for his son everywhere. He could not find him. He searched him everywhere. Then he had a shock whether he has left me. Where did he go? Then he opened the box. He got a small writing, a pamphlet, a leaf, in which there was also a needle, a broken needle. A broken needle was also there. And he has written in Tamil, Kadatra Ushiyum Varadu Kan Kadai Vazhikke. So it means, even this broken needle you cannot take when you die. You are making so much money, so much wealth, nothing will be useful to you. Even this broken needle will not come with you when you die. And that was a shock. He stood. It was not simply a shock. He was initiated. And in a moment he had a vision that Shiva himself has come to him as his son to initiate him. He just threw away his clothes, everything. Only with a lion cloth he just walked out. He had so much wealth that even the king was very close to him. He had a manager, and the manager said, at least, where are you going? I am going away. It's all over. This Maya, it gives you delight, depression. No more of this mind swing. I want to have that steadiness, that Shanti. I am going away. Then they tried to compel him to stay. They made all kind of requests. Nothing worked because the dispassion, the vairagya that has come was perfect. Sadashiva Brahmendra Swami says it is para vairagya. That supreme dispassion, not simply some few minutes of vairagya and it is gone. No, not like that. A real vairagya has come. So he threw away everything, walked out, and his manager came and said, Sir, you have so much millions and millions of money. At least write a will. What I should do with this money? He said, throw it in the streets. Let those who want it take it. That kind of vairagya, no? Throw it in the streets. He said, anyone who wants, let them take. And not bothered. With that kind of dispassion, he walked out. His mother said, you should stay in the nearby area till my body goes. That promise he accepted. He gave that promise and stayed there in many places, wandered like Bhagavan as a Avadhuta. And he was staying in a very dilapidated temple. The local king, he came to know about this. One day he came and he saw this very rich landlord staying like a beggar, begging his food and eating, and with only a single loin cloth, kaupiyanam was sitting there. King went there and did a namaskar and stood there and said, you have renounced so much. What did you get by renouncing all this? He asked. You know what the saint said? You stand, I sit. Because before I used to come to you like this, and I have to stand and take permission from others to have appointment. I have to take audience appointment. Now the situation has changed. I am sitting like an emperor and you have come like a beggar. The situation has changed, no? So this is one incident I remember. And another thing very beautiful is, Bhagavan used to narrate it very much, that he was lying on a paddy field, walking area, with his hand like this in the head. That time 2 women were going with pitchers in their hands to take water. And they were having conversation. And one lady, she told the other lady, see, our Patanath Swami is lying here. What renunciation. This is true renunciation. He has given up so much wealth. He has renounced everything and lying down there. The another lady who was also there, you can get certificate from anywhere, but not from the world. From every person. So the other lady said, yes, renounced, but still you see, he is keeping his hand in his head. That much pleasure is needed. At least this height is expecting, no? So he heard this. Swami heard this. He felt, so Divine Mother is speaking through them. That is also true. I should not have even my arms as pillows. So he took it away and was lying down even without a support. So when they were coming back on the same road, the other lady said, see, now renunciation is complete. There is not even his arms, his hand there in the head. Yes, okay, but still he is giving ears to what others are saying about him. So renunciation is that it is not for getting certificate from others. That kind of renunciation is not good. It is from heart you need certificate. From your heart you need certificate. It is, O Budal Yavumena Or. Bhagavan said, to be free of the I, the ego, even if you are a ruler, a king, your prarabdha is to be a king, then also you can be a sannyasi. That Janaka was said as king of renunciates. Even sannyasis used to go to him to get this knowledge. Even though he was a Chakravarti, a king, he was called as Videha, the bodiless one. He stayed in that state of bodilessness. So, உலகை விட்டு தன்னை ஓர்ந்து ஒன்று இரண்டு தான் அற்று நான் அற்ற அந்நிலை எல்லாருக்கும் ஒப்பாம். Bhagavan says, for all means generally for all, but for a spiritual seeker specially, what he is seeking is தான் அற்ற அந்நிலை. நான் உதியாது உள்ள நிலை. The state where the I thought is not operating. Or you can say the knowledge, the perfect knowledge that you are no more carrying the illusion that the I is real. That is enough. The Jiva Bhava, no more consider that the Jiva Bhava is real. Jivam kalpayate purvam tato bhavan prithak vidhan. The first very beginning sprout of ignorance is Jiva Bhava, the I thought. Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Patanjali says Asmita, Avidya, Asmita, Raga, Dvesha, Abhiniveshaha, Kleshaha. The entire life is full of klesha. Klesha means suffering. And the cause for suffering, the beginning is avidya, unawareness. And from there, the I thought, I, asmita. And from there, attachment and aversion, raga, dvesha. Then from there, abhinivesha, a tremendous fascination, passion towards worldly life. trying to hold this worldly life. These all lead one to klesha, suffering. Various form of suffering follow for such a person. So, ulagai vittu, leaving the world, renouncing. Turavu, Tamil, they say Turavu. True sannyasa. Sannyasa can be instantaneous like Bhagavan or like Pattanatha Swamigal, or it can be gradual, that krama. They will say krama mukti, jivan mukti, sadhyo mukti. But mukti means renunciation only. It's gradually you can renounce. Slowly, the entire spiritual life. You will have a disciplined anushtana so that you can escape from non-essential actions. That also is a renunciation. Now, you don't get into the rut of bondage creating actions. That much you are escaping. Sometimes, Bhagavan used to give instruction to many of his close, intimate disciples. He has told one of his very intimate devotee, Rangan, his friend, that you should stay with me and you should not go back till I give you instruction. This was the first Upadesha. And second, he said, even to the town, you should not go without telling me. This was the second instruction. And he followed it. And Bhagavan also saw to it that he followed it very clearly. So this is all protection. This is all slowly unwinding the bondage that one has created. The entire spiritual sadhana is only unwinding. Slowly. Even this satsanga is like that. Whether you understand or not. For this 1 hour, at least you escape from many things. This is also a renunciation. This is also a renunciation. Like that when you come to Tiruvannamalai, go round the hill. Sadhu Swami used to say, if you tie a cow to a pillar or a tree, it will go round the hill. At last, that rope will become so tight that it cannot move. Like that, you go round the hill, at last, no action, no karma. This is called vihita karma, prescribed action. This prescribed action prescribed by Guru or by the Shastra, or sometimes you out of devotion take some action, that helps you to escape from prohibited actions. So that is also, sometimes only that is the way to escape from many things. Constantly engage yourself in devotional things, satsanga. Even Ramakrishna had a devotee, Adar Singh. He was a big officer. Many days he will come from great distance to see Ramakrishna in a horse chariot. And he will, by the time he reaches Dakshineshwar, he will be tired. And he will come there, all the bhajans, satsang will be happening, he will sleep. By the time he wakes up, all these things will be over. And he will do a namaskara and go. So Ramakrishna used to make fun about him. That in temples also it happens. In Kerala we have seen it. Kathakali is a well-known art, temple art. They will start by 9 o'clock and finish it morning 6 o'clock. So whole night will be some story, some divine story with all makeup. They will do the dance. But in the beginning they will have a screen, hold a screen, and for 1 hour or more there will be songs. By the time all will sleep. Most of the people will sleep. So Ramakrishna used to make fun about this devotee. But the devotee said, Thakur, at least Even if I sleep, I am sleeping only in your presence. If I go to my house, that will create bondage. So at least I am escaping from many things. That much I am escaping. Ramakrishna said, true. Very intelligent you are, true. So that is enough. So this kind of ovutal, giving up, renunciation, ulagai vittu, creating space in life to meditate. When you have to meditate, you create freedom, lightness. You give up many things, and then tannai orndu, then you turn inward. When you are absolutely free, Bhagavan told certain devotees, you need not take sannyasa. You stay in your home and meditate. Certain people, by mere presence of Bhagavan, renounced everything. Like Muruganar. Muruganar, he renounced everything. He could not resist that pull. So he just left everything and came to Bhagavan. Like that many came. And he appreciated that renunciation. Kunjaswami came. They all, Vishwanatha Swami, Bhagavan helped him to renounce. He took charge of him. To his father, Bhagavan said, I will take care of him. So that way, this renunciation is like a fence around a sadhaka. A sacred, holy fence around a sadhaka. So that was given. So here, Bhagavan says, Tannai orndu. Meditate on the self. Constantly meditate on the self. No, nothing else to do. That is what Bhagavan did. Tannai orndu means reflect on the Tan. In Ramanacharanatirtha, Bhagavan says, Arunachala, you are in me as the Tan. Tane tattvam. Tattvam. Tattvam means truth, essence, Brahman. And it is in the heart, in the center, as I am. Tan. As the amness. As pure awareness, unarvu. Tane tattvam. It is so simple, so direct, immediate. Hence the Upanishad says, aparoksham. Aparoksham means immediate, direct, available to all. There is no complexity at all in it. It is just like the Upanishads or Gita, they say, more splendorous than the sun. That is the simile that they give. When somebody used that simile to Bhagavan, Bhagavan said, we cannot even look at this sun. What to speak about million suns? That is only a upama, a simile. It only means to look at the sun, you need eyes. Some senses have to operate. But to know the self, you don't need any senses. You don't need the mind or intellect or anything. It shines forth by its own light. Only this much is needed. You have to listen to this teaching. When you go back, you just take the note, contemplate on it, again and again and again, have profound contemplation, nididhyasana. You can have 3 or 4 aspects. As we are concluding, I am taking these things. The first aspect is, you can start from the physical body. The body undergoes change. You can say, my photo is there. Now I am 50 or 60 or 70. My childhood photo, if I take, the body is not there. That body is gone. The body which was there when I was only 5 years old, it is no more there. It was no more there when I was 20. And that body is gone when I become 60 or 50. Every 7 years, the whole body undergoes change. So actually, death is constantly happening. It is not a one-time event. It is constantly happening. In Gita, Krishna says like Balya, Kaumara, Yavana is death. Tata Dehantara Praptihi. So a courageous person will not get deluded. So death is not a last event. Constantly, the very name of body, Bhagavan has said one place, body is another name for death. It's a great revelation, because the Upanishad says the traveling, the journey of death. While you are in the journey of death means not towards death, but when in Ramayana there is a verse which says, when you stand up, death stands up. When you walk, death walks. When you sit, death sits. When you speak, death speaks. So it is synonymous with death. So body, when you carry the body, death is there. But in your being, death is a nonsense, meaningless. That is why nobody believes in death. On one side, you know death, you fear death, but deep down, any number of death you see, you never think you will die. Because something from within says, I am there, existent, always. No vanishing, no non-existence. This is experience. The other thing is only an illusion, outside illusion. So, the body is undergoing change. Behind all the change, there is the simple presence, the simple existence of I. Vyavrittasu anuvartamanam aham iti antaspurantam sada. The Dakshinamurti Stotra, Shankaracharya says, when everything goes on changing, the changeless being, consciousness, continues behind as aham, I. Bhagavan uses the word like the Shruti note in the classical music. Like the Shruti note in this Indian classic music, they use that tambura. That Shruti will be changeless. Everything changes. It remains changeless. Like that Shruti note, this aham, I, this consciousness, this chit, is the constant element behind all the changes. So slowly you contemplate and turn your attention towards that I. And more you become familiar with that. How to become familiar with that? First you tell yourself I. Then you strangely get focused on the I thought. This is Bhagavan's method. No? I thought. This I thought. Nisargadatta Maharaj also said, abide in the I am. That is well known. But he never spoke about this I thought. Bhagavan's attention was always on that, the first thing, that aham vritti. So he said, because that is the manifestation of Shakti. So he said, focus on that I thought. When you feel, when you suffer, when you have pain, when you have some difficulty, agony, everything expresses as I, my life, my problem, my suffering. So how will I escape? When all these things come up, the I comes. Hold on to that I. Stay with that I. Then you will find that the I, like when you churn the butter, the curd, butter will be separated. Like that, when you hold on to this I, a churning will happen. Because it is the center. A churning will happen. All the stuff inside gets churned, and that I gets separated as pure throb of Shakti, the force of the inner being, as Shakti, which Bhagavan calls as Aham Spurti, Aham Vritti, Aham Spurti. The throb, Spurti means the pulsation, the throb. You feel in a yogi's presence, that throb will be always there. It is not the ego, the current, the throb, the spurti. Many have said, Kunjaswami used to say, Bhagavan's dhara. The dhara means the current, the flow, the stream. It will be there in Bhagavan's presence because that is the Shakti, that Kundalini, what they call as Kundalini. That Shakti for Jnani, it is in the heart as Aham Spurti, as pure throb of awareness. So he will be wearing that in his very being. One day I told, it is like Shiva wearing the serpent. He is wearing that Spurti in his being, and it slowly subsides to reveal mere existence, Satchidananda, that pure Shanti, Maunam. So this you inquire, this is one dimension of self-inquiry, where you begin from the changing body. Behind the changing body, your attention slowly turns towards the I. You become more and more accustomed, familiar with the Aham Vritti, Aham Spurti, and Aham Bodha. Actually, it's mere Bodha, mere consciousness. That is Samadhi, Nirvikalpa Samadhi. That results, that blossoms within. So this is one way of going there. The other way is, suppose many of Bhagavan's direct devotees, they never did any self-inquiry, most of them. They just came to him, his Shaktipada, his look or his one word, they abided there. No inquiry, nothing, just that mauna. Muruganar said, I could not even close my eyes. Before I could close my eyes, it was over. So that fast it was. So that is the grace, what we call as grace. Grace means Jnani who is wearing this Shakti, it just travels. It just transmits by itself. So anyhow, you should have this clarity inside you that what is in you as Tan, Tannai Orundu, that which expresses itself as Aham within you, Aham. This Shuddha Chaitanya is the infinite. Ellai Arattan Olirum, the boundless being, the boundless one is there in you. As Kabir says, everyone knows that bubble belongs to ocean. The ocean contains the bubble. But he is really wise who knows that the entire ocean is there in a bubble. So, that great recognition that the Jiva here is one with Brahman, is Shiva. That recognition is that Rishitva, that Jivan Mukti, Tannai Orundu, non-atra annilai. The state where there is no ignorance. Non-atra nilai means the state where there is no I, means there is no separation. There is no ignorance. Ajnana is no more there. That Purnatva is there. This is Ellarkum Oppam. This is beneficial, good for all. This is auspicious for all. This is that we are unconsciously or consciously seeking. Once you come in touch with that state, life will flower. This is the third verse. Fourth verse also we will just read. Uruvam Tanayin Ullagu Paramatram, Uruvam Tanandrel, Uvatrin Uruvattai, கண்ணுறுதல் யாவன் எவன் கண்ணலார் காட்சி உண்டோ கண்ணதுதான் அந்தம் இலா கண்ணாமே. Again, the last word line is very important. This verse also, as I said, every verse ends with a Mahavakya. Kan adithan antam ila kanname. There was, in our childhood, we used to hear a old Tamil song. Which says, when you have the real eye opened, there is no need for this ignorant eyes, blind eyes. ஞானக்கண் உள்ள திறந்த பிறகு ஊனக்கண் போனால் என்ன? ஆமாம், எம்கே தியாகராஜ பாட்டு கேட்டுக்காது. That saint was blind, but he says, I have my vision perfect here. So, if I do not see the world, I am not losing anything. There is nothing to see. I feel myself blessed because the inner eye is opened. So here Bhagavan says, the real eye, E-Y-E, it is not E-Y-E, it is I. It is the real eye. And that eye is antam ila kan. This eye is very limited. It can see only here, not behind. But this eye can see everything. It can see the dream, it can see the deep sleep also. See, all the senses can be named as eye. The brain also is an eye. But it is very limited. It can only see very limited things. But the real eye travels everywhere. It permeates everywhere. Its intelligence is limitless. Vishvataschakshuruta vishvato mukho vishvato hastavuta vishvataspat sambahubhyam namati sampatatrairdyava prithvi janayan deva ekaha. Vishvataschakshuhu, it is the universal eye. Andame kannaha. There is a song which says the andam means the entire universe is eye. That is the third eye of Shiva. People think Shiva has an eye in his head. And there are gurus who say, I will open your eye. Imagine an eye here. It is not here. The real eye is that consciousness which needs no organ to see, which needs no senses or mind to see or think. It knows its own existence by its own light even in the deep sleep. You have to contemplate on that state. That is another aspect. You contemplate more and more on that state to deep sleep. People will say deep sleep, I do not know anything, I don't exist. But the more and more you contemplate, you will slowly recognize that your intelligence is limitless. Even there, you remain as bliss, as happiness. The knowingness of the self can never be taken away. So it is there also. So it is all pervading. It pervades all time and space. So antam ila kanname. Sarupa buddhir jagadishwarecha sarupadhihi yavad atmani yavadasti arupa atma yadikaf prapashyet sa drishtireka anavadhirhi purna. Saddarshan, the Sanskrit translation is that drishti is anavadhi. Avadhi means boundary. Anavadhi means boundless, limitless. So that vision is limitless, it is purna, it is complete, And when the yogi identifies with that, when the jnani identifies with that, he is one with all, sarvatma bhava. All time, space, past, present, future, waking, dream, deep sleep. He pervades every state. That doesn't mean his little intellect will know all those things. It is not needed. One disciple asked a very well-known guru, Swamiji, can you read my mind? He asked. And that Swamiji said, do you think I am a municipality scavenger? I am not doing that job. So, it doesn't mean that. It means he is one with all as awareness. And that recognition is perfect. The moment inward knowingness travels to that plane, that we call as self-realization. Slowly, the knowing sense, the sense with which you are knowing everything, that sense is you. And that sense travels slowly to other planes of consciousness, from waking, dream, deep sleep. And at last, it breaks all the boundaries and merges in the infinity of intelligence. Then inwardly the yogi recognizes that he is one with all. Not physically, not mentally, because the physic and the mind is not real for him. It is real only for the onlookers, only for those who see others. It is their prarabdha that his body and mind is there. They are looking at his body, they are looking at his mind, and they are superimposing many things on him. He never accepts anything that they give to him. They say that you did that, you said this. He never accepts anything. His knowingness has, like a river traveling to ocean, has ended itself in infinity and has become boundless. Antam ila kan. It has become that boundless intelligence, boundless awareness. It has become boundless arivu. Arivu is the Tamil word. Jnanam, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. That Brahman is Satyam, Jnanam. Satyam means changeless, truth. Jnanam means awareness. Anantam means infinity. Also means bliss, because bliss is only in the infinity. So once that is realized, அதுதான் அந்தமில்லா கண்ணாமே. கண்ணுக்கு கண்ணாய் கண்ணின்றி காணுனை காணுவது எவர் பார் அருணாச்சல. O Arunachala, the eye of the eye, the eye with which you know you exist, that is the real eye, and you recognize that it is boundless. A space inside a pot. You can say the pot is imprisoning the space, but actually the space is limitless. The pot is only an appearance in that space. That Ghadakasha is limitless. The Ghada is only an appearance. Like that, the inner awareness has no limitation of the body. That is why every day in deep sleep, you recognize that the body limitation disappears. The mind limitation disappears. The I, which says localized feeling, I am here in this body, that also goes away. And you know what exists, don't know. Something very fulfilling alone was there. You wake up and say, I do not know but want to go back. Only that feeling you carry when you come back to this waking state. But consciously you enter that state, then you know that Bhuma. Bhuma means Antam Illa. What Bhagavan uses as Antam Illa means Bhuma, the infinite, the boundless. Antam ilakan, that which is self-reliant, self-effulgent, swayam prakasha, it is boundless. Kannurudar yavan, how can you see it? You cannot see it. It is seeing everything. It is shining forth by. That is why Bhagavan said, Par Arunachala. I cannot see you. You have to see me. Par Arunachala. Kannurudal yavan yavan kannalar kakshi undu. Without kan, without the eye, you cannot see. Like that, without one's own awareness, existence, one cannot recognize the existence of others. So this existence is the real kan. When you recognize that, you recognize there is no form in you. Uruvam taan ayin ulahu param atram. Une tunnum uruvam taan ayin. This body made of flesh, if this is me, ulahu param atram. The world and God also will be with form. Uruvam taan unreal. If I am not this form, uvatrin uruvattai kannurudal yavan. If I have no form, I have no body, how will I see other forms? Without eyes, nothing can be recognized. Kannadudaan antamilla kanname. You have to find the real eye. When you listen, slowly you go to the real ear. When you see, slowly go to the real eye. Like that, any sense can take you to the source where you recognize that pure essence, the cream of knowledge, which is Ananda Swarupa, Shanti, infinity, that Purnatva, great fulfillment. That is Brahman, that is Arunachala, that is Shiva, that is Bhagavan. Vinnadiya Vilakkum, Kannadiya Purikkum, கண்ணாம் மனக்கண்ணுக்கும் கண்ணாய் மனவிண்ணுக்கும் விண்ணாய் ஒரு பொருள் வேறு எண்ணாது இருந்தபடி உள்நாடு உளத்து ஒளிரும் அண்ணாமலை என் ஆன்மா. Bhagavan says, even if you go away from this district, you will not miss Arunachala. Wherever you go, உள்நாடு உளத்து ஒளிரும் அண்ணாமலை என் ஆன்மா. That light which you have in your heart is Annamalai. It is Arunachala. And that is my Atma. That is my real nature, Swarupa. In Anma Kanume. The Guru, with immense compassion, is making a request to the disciple. Please put effort to see that. You are putting effort to see many things. Trying to achieve and attain many things, doing many things in the world. At least now, close your eyes. One day, many devotees were sitting before Bhagavan, and there was a sannyasi dog with Bhagavan. Karpana jakiya theriyala. One dog was there. It will always sit only in a ochre colored cloth. Some samskara was there. And it will quietly, it will sit. And it will not take food till Bhagavan touches it. People have tried to give it food without Bhagavan taking something from it. It will not eat. Only after Bhagavan partaking the food, it will take. One day that dog was sitting, looking at Bhagavan like other devotees, and suddenly some other dog came outside. Naturally, the nature of the dog, it barked. Then Bhagavan looked at the dog and said, Kanna mood, close your eyes. Then you will not see. You are seeing because you are unnecessarily seeing other things. It is not needed. Close your eyes. Chumma iru. Keep quiet. And the dog just obeyed. Close its eyes. But others were again looking. Bhagavan remarked, அது சொன்னா கேட்டு கொடுத்து இவாளையெல்லாம் என்ன பண்றது? All others, they kept quiet. They were again distracted by the bark of the dog. So, this is the thing, close the eyes and see the inner eye. Close the ears and see the inner ear. Vacham yacha, mano yacha, pranan yacha, indriyani cha, atmanam atmana yacha, na bhuyaha kalpasedvane. Beautiful verse from Bhagavatam, which says, fold the senses. Vacham yacha. Withdraw the senses. Close, put the shutter of the senses. Vacham yacha. Mano yacha. Put the shutter of the mind. Pranan yacha. Control, conserve the energy, the vitality inside you. Pranan yacha. Indriyani, all the senses, words, everything, you just withdraw. Atmanam atmana yacha. At last, withdraw the I and make it abide in the real self. Nabhuya kalpasedvane. No more will you walk in the same street of suffering. The street of suffering through which you have been walking for many, many millions of lives, you will not be again noted in that same street. So this is Bhagavatam. So here it says, simple, close, put the shutter and look the inner lamp, the inner light. Then Kanume, Arulum Venume. You need an energy from outside to help you. That is called Arul, grace. You are ready to withdraw, but you need a very powerful energy to help you, to push your mind inward. That we call as Tirtha Kshetra. Arunachala, why do we come here? We find it is very easy here to go within. So that is Arul. Or you need Guru. Or you need a good scripture. You need a good mantra. You need, see, that is very rare, Yesterday I was telling some devotees, a sacred presence, a place which has a sacred presence, a book which has sacred presence, a guru or a person who carries that sacred presence in his being, a word, mantra, which is impregnated with sacred presence, food which is impregnated with sacred presence. We call it prasada. That is not simply, you cannot make prasada like that. It is also manifestation. Sometimes, a little bit of prasada can transform a person. So if the food which carries the sacred presence, a temple, an idol, which suddenly manifests the sacred presence. Many hills are there. Devotees used to argue with Bhagavan. Bhagavan, many hills are there. What is special with Arunachala? Bhagavan said Arunachala is special. He was fanatic about that. Because a sacred presence manifesting somewhere, this is called Vibhuti. This is there. Such help is there around you. When that is there, these are all very important, When we talk about the abstract, subtle-most philosophy, we should not forget the solid, holy things also. They are also needed. This book, Ulladu, Narpadu, this is a very sacred thing. You should not say reading books are no use. You should not generalize anything in spirituality. Reading books sometimes will be equal to meditation. Because books are not always books. Sometimes books which are not, has come from a Jivan Mukta, a Jnani, is carrying his very being. We say Bhagavata, it's Pratyaksha Krishna Rupa, they say. Like that, Ulladu Narpadu is Bhagavan's form. Ramanacharanatirtha is Bhagavan's form. Nochur is Bhagavan's form. So, in all those words, Bhagavan is there. So, it is true that ultimately you have to abide in the self. Once you learn to stay there, you need no books, no mantra, nothing is needed. Tyajed granthan asheshataha. The Panchadashikara says, give up all the books. Just as you remove the chaff and take the grain, the rice, like that, take the essence and realize and give up all the outer things. So then, you need no books. But till then, we should not simply Imagine that we have reached there. Till then, it is better that you hold on to all the sacred things around, because time is there, mind is active, prarabdha is there. So be careful. Jagrata, Jagrata, Jagrata. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Yato mamatma bhavasi tvameva, tato na vachyam mama kinchidasti, yatha taveshtam kurumam tathaiva tvam atmanatham ramanam bhaja. Today we are finishing these talks. Next time when we get time we will continue this.